Welcome to Momma Mafia. I'm Mrs. Kiwi Rider. Momma Mafia is all about supporting and celebrating women riders, both new and experienced.
Momma Mafia.
Mrs. Kiwi Rider.
Some months ago, we discovered a new channel, Dad and Mad, a father and daughter riding duo from the UK. We soon discovered that Mum, Momma Soph, was just beginning her riding journey. Okay, Momma Soph, tell us what you're riding.
At the moment, I'm riding a Honda Shadow VT125. Just doing bike lessons, just past my mod 1. Once I've finished all that and I'm fully fledged biker, I have got a Harley-Davidson Sportster XL1200NS beast. So I'm really excited to ride the Harley.
Tell us, how did you get into riding a motorcycle?
Obviously, you all know Dad and Mad. John's been riding for about 10 years, if not a little bit longer. And basically, something that I spoke to John about a few years ago. I'd like to have a go, something I've always wanted to do. It's kind of on my bucket list. But it was always like, we'll do it later, we'll do it when Madison's bigger, we'll do it when we've got more money. And then last October, one of our mates passed away. And so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait to do stuff anymore. So she was probably like the main inspiration, as well as a few other people that we've lost and stuff. And obviously John. And I could see that he would. Also, I went out on the sports sickness event, and there was a woman there called Sarah, and she was badass. She was like proper cool. And I said to John, oh, I really want to ride. So there was a couple of influences, 2 women and a man.
So have you had an interest in riding motorcycles for a long time or just recently?
I would say it's probably been the last couple of years that the interest has ramped up. Obviously seeing John ride, I thought it was like really cool. I like the community aspect. Everyone's really friendly. He's had a lot of help. We've got a few friends that ride. As I spoke about before, when my friend passed away, my interest was obviously increased because I thought, you know what, I want to do this. I don't want to keep waiting. And it's just keeps growing and growing. So I think it was about 2 years ago, I started my journey to biking, and John took me to our local training centre and said, can we have a go? And I had a little go on the bike and I really loved it, and I thought that was going to be a make or break, because obviously it is hard, and I actually appreciate bikers now that I'm doing it myself, because sometimes when you're in the car you'll see a bike and you just be like, ugh, or whatever. Round here sometimes you get some idiot bikers on the road, but actually I can appreciate now, probably keep a bit of distance, appreciate the weight and obviously the skill that's involved in riding a bike. Yeah, so the last couple of years.
That community aspect is so important. I love it. When you were growing up, did you know anyone who rode a motorcycle?
Yeah. When I was growing up, my nan always used to tell me about the times that she went on the back of my granddad's bike, and they toured Switzerland and Italy. And I even remember my mum telling me about the time that she was in the sidecar, and my mum doesn't like going on the bikes because I think my granddad traumatised her. My uncle also rides, and he was into like sports bikes, he used to do track days and stuff. He was all about the need for speed, and obviously I'm growing up now, but John rides and my brother also rides a little 125 as well.
What has been your most difficult challenge so far?
To be honest, there's been so many challenges with my journey to riding. Some people find it much easier than me. I have found it quite difficult. It took me 2 days really to do the CBT. In the UK we have to do CBT training, which is basically a day on the bike. You have some classroom training, you're on the car park area, and then they put you on the road. And that took me a couple of days to get the swing of it and get used to the bike. So that was probably the first hurdle. But to date, I've just passed my mod 1, and that was like the biggest achievement, purely because I found all the manual handling quite difficult, because I'm small and petite, and I'm not very strong. The manual handling aspect is quite difficult for me, and I was struggling with the U-turn. So all the mod 1 stuff was like my biggest challenge, and obviously I've overcome it. So yeah, we're all on the mod 2.
What sort of preparation did you do to learn to ride, if any?
So I actually went on YouTube. Obviously I spoke to John and he showed me firsthand a few controls on the bike so that I was a bit aware when I was going for my training. So I got a bit of a heads up of, you know, where all the controls were, little things like that. But I did go on YouTube because I thought it was interesting to see other people ride and watch preparation videos on there, so CBT, manual handling. Yeah, so it was mainly like sitting on John's bike and having a bit of a practice. Obviously we didn't go, like, I didn't start it, it was just in the garage, or on YouTube.
What do you love about riding?
For me, one of the main things I love about riding is like the freedom, because I probably come across like really confident and stuff on my Instagram and everything, but I am quite an anxious person, so it's really nice to just go on the bike and just let everything go and relax, and the freedom. And I like the fact that I can do it with with my family, so I can go with John and Maddie and we can enjoy family time together. We can ride as husband and wife, or I can ride just on my own and have that freedom to just, you know, just ride and just enjoy it.
What do you not love about riding?
I would say the one thing I don't love about riding, well, there's a couple. The main thing being a learner is you have to have L plates on your bike, and it's other car drivers, but that's even going to be the same when I've passed. I don't like the fact that car drivers are impatient. Obviously I don't like the dangers of riding. I'm quite a cautious rider, obviously doing all my observations, making sure that I should be where I want to be, and but it's obviously other people on the road that you've got to really look out for. Basically, John gave me the best advice, which is just ride like you're invisible, because they won't hear you and they won't see you. And when I'm on the 125, it's so quiet, they can't actually hear you. At least when I'm on the Harley, I feel like I'll have a bit more presence on the road, so I'm looking forward to that. And then when people are being mean, I can just rev bomb them. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the worst thing about riding, really. The other thing I don't like about riding is the snobbery. So I'm on a couple of different bike groups. I've obviously got my favourites. I find that people should just enjoy whatever you ride. It doesn't matter whether you're riding a 125, a scooter, a Harley, a Honda, whatever. It's a bike, and you know, you're going out there and enjoying it. And I found that some people are a bit elitist with the riding, so I don't like that. And then obviously being a woman, you get some sexist remarks, but that's just day to day, whatever.
How did you choose the bike that you're currently riding?
So with my VT 125, I really wanted a cruiser style bike because I'm only 5'1", so I wanted something that I would be comfortable riding, that I was flat footed, so I had low seat height, and would be comfortable as well. And originally I was looking at the Suzuki Marauder. I really like the look of those, but then we saw the Honda Shadow and I just fell in love with it. And the reason why I chose the Honda Shadow and the reason why I chose a cruiser is because the end goal was always going to be a Harley Sportster. That would be like my dream bike. So yeah, it was going to always be a cruiser, because I thought there's no point learning like a YBR style bike, because I'm going to be riding a big cruiser when I pass, so I wanted to do all my learning really on a cruiser style, move up to the Harley, and I just think the cruisers, just nothing beats the sound of a Harley in my opinion. I really like the look of them, and they're really comfy, and yeah, I don't know if you've seen my bike, but it's pretty badass, both of them, but my Harley is really nice.
That's definitely something that I was trying to look for as well. I wanted something where I could be flat-footed, so I can relate to that. Do you have any dream roads that you'd like to ride?
Yeah, I've got a couple. The main one would be Italy. As I spoke about earlier, my granddad and nan toured Italy on the bike, so that's something I'd really like to recreate. I have got relatives in Italy, very, very distant. I don't think I'd get to meet them, but it would just be nice to do that journey. And also New Zealand's on my bucket list. The roads look absolutely amazing. Yeah, so New Zealand and Italy, like my main two. There's probably loads, but I would stick to Italy and New Zealand.
Italy and New Zealand, I like it. Do you have a favourite piece of riding gear?
I think this is probably going to be really obvious, but it's my helmet. I love my helmet. It gets loads of attention. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've got the Built Well Gringo Silver Flake and then I've got the bubble visor. I've got like a see-through bubble visor, and I've got like a silver shiny one. And when I have my bike lessons, the instructors always hate it because they can see their reflection, and they're like, oh, we don't want to see the reflection, like we just want to see your face. And I'm thinking, no you don't, because I'm like, ah. But yeah, I love that helmet. It's really nice. But I've just purchased some silver Doc Martens, so I think when I'm wearing the helmet with the docs, then I will be officially a Space Girl. A lot of people call me the Space Girl in that helmet, but I really like it because I'm seen, visible. You can't miss a silver sparkly helmet, can you?
So can you tell us, how did you introduce or encourage your daughter to ride, and at what age, and was it her idea?
I wouldn't say we encouraged her at all. We've always shown her the bikes. John used to have a Bandit to start with, so when she was very small, obviously John would sit her on the bike, would turn the bike on, she'd be waving to Daddy out the window when he was going to ride the wall. You know, she was always interested in the bike, she liked the sound. And then when she was a bit older and she told us that she wanted to go on the bike, we waited until she was about 5, and we thought, yeah, that's the right time, we'll let her have a little go. So we obviously made sure we've got all the gear, so she was protected. We explained everything in detail. We've got the Bluetooth headset, so there was that line of communication. So if at any point Madison didn't like it, the ride would stop. And there is footage on Dad and Mad page of when her first ride, and basically John took her around the block, and you can hear her screaming and laughing. She absolutely loved it. Then, well, first of all he took her around the street to see how she liked it. Then he took her around the block, and then I went on my bike and we went on a little ride. But Madison didn't really enjoy me being on the road because I was a little bit too slow for her, and that was literally on her 3rd time being on the bike. She's got a need for speed, she absolutely loves it, and as long as Maddie's happy, then that's the main thing. And if she decides that she doesn't want to do it, then there's no pressure. It's always about what Madison wants.
Any advice for other parents that might like to encourage their kids to ride?
My first advice would be, obviously get all the right gear. Get the right gear, get the helmet, get the gloves, get the protection, get the coat, the trousers, everything. Wait until you feel that they're a suitable age. So with Madison it was 5. Some people might want to wait until the children are older. Some people might want to do it a bit younger. I like to think that around about 5 was a good age, because at that point they've got a good understanding. For us, Madison had a great understanding. We were able to explain, obviously, the dangers of riding. You have to hold on, you have to listen, you can't move, you know what I mean, you can't be fidgeting while Daddy's riding. But yeah, the best advice would be to, if they're showing interest, let them have a go and follow their lead, and just don't push them, because we've been on rides before where I wanted to, go a bit further and Madison didn't, and although inside I was gutted because I was like, I really want to go on a ride, you can't force them or push them further than they're capable of, because then in the end they don't enjoy it. So those long good rides will come, and it's just about being a bit patient. And if you put your child on the bike and they don't like it initially, maybe go back to it a little bit later. So, it's just going to be very dependent on them and you and how relaxed you are, really. If you're scared about it, they're going to pick up on those vibes. So yeah, I would just be really chilled and just follow their lead.
Thank you so much. We're just about to wind things up. Have you got any other comments or things you'd like to share?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do the interview. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, Momma Mafia. It's really nice to have a group of women supporting me on my motorbike journey. Thank you to all the other motovloggers that are following me on my Insta and giving me support and watching my journey. Keep an eye on the Dad and Mad page, because I will be making a lot more cameos when I pass my test, and I'm going to be on the Harley. I can't wait. And yeah, there'll be stuff on Dad and Mad. So yeah, watch this space. Just a little update for you. I had my Mod 2. I passed my motorcycle test. I passed my Mod 2 first time, so I was very pleased. As soon as we did that, we got me insured straight away on the Harley. and then we went out and tried to ride the Harley, and it was too big for me. I didn't even actually ride it, just sort of sat on it, was trying to get a feel for the weight, checking it on and off the side stand. Yeah, it wasn't the right bike for me. It was too heavy, didn't feel comfortable. Obviously when you move it's different, but you still need to be able to handle the bike when you're at slow speed, when you're turning and when you're stopping. So it wouldn't have been the right decision to carry on even persevering with a bike that was too intimidating. So we had to get rid of that, unfortunately, and then we was on the hunt for another bike. And the update is I've got a Honda Rebel 500 2018 model. She's perfect entry bike for someone who's not got much riding experience. I've only really been on the 125. She doesn't feel much different than the Honda Shadow. I'm obviously a Honda girl. Yeah, so it's a perfect little bike for me. I'm flat-footed, she's light, and yeah, it was just the right decision. Obviously I still want a Sportster really, really bad. That would be the dream, but I think I still need a few more years of riding this 500 under my belt before I move on to anything bigger.
Thank you so much, Momma Soph, for taking the time to talk to us. I've loved talking with you. If you like this video, go ahead and give it the thumbs up and consider subscribing to Two Kiwi Riders or Dad and Mad on YouTube. Our hope is that this will help and encourage other women riders. So if you're looking for support, please get in touch with one of the Momma Mafia crew. And don't forget, #SupportMVC.
Momma Mafia.
Mrs. Kiwi Rider.